Hello? Is this thing on? Welcome. What's up, dude? How you doing? Oh, okay, thanks. Thank you for answering my question about whether or not you could hear me. All right. So today's, as the stream title implies, about housekeeping. We're going to be doing a lot of, like, odd jobs and knickknacks and testing and some other junk. So I think I can go ahead and ship this. I should also pop into the MPQ. Oh, as a matter of fact, I need to do that. And then I also need to do that to the EXE. So let's try that. Bum, 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 bum. Oh yeah, I can delete that since I already put that in there. So we've got modify units. Costs of missile, nuclear silent, twisted turn. So I think these are the balance changes that I just made, but there was something else. Yeah, there was iQuare fix energy cost for Sublime Shepherd deactivation. All right. The engineering bay. It's like weapon pool. You. What's up, mutism? Which commit message? You? Yeah, dude. It's gorilla fuel, dude. G fuel. Where'd you think the gorilla came from? And thank you, iQuare, for fixing that. I guess I'll while I wait for. I wanted to test. You'll like these changes, man. You're a team game kind of guy, right? I got some changes for you, man. Just you wait. So the stasis field changes are still not in. Oh boy. Oh golly. Check out my allied arbiter, right? This is my buddy. He's my friend, okay? Oh, look at that. Oh, his units are fun. They vanished. They seem to have disappeared. That's really weird. I wonder why that is. Oh golly. Oh gee, I can even move his stuff around too. Oh, geez. Oh, jeepers. I wonder how broken this will make some units. So, if you ever wanted to start moving some units around, of course, can be used to grief. Oops, I gave him the another order, so it canceled it. We were gonna fix that eventually. They're just not gonna be able to. Do what? I keep clicking like an idiot. All right, hold on. There we go. Oh fuck! I cloaked him. God damn it! I needed an observer for him too. Oh fuck! That's not what I wanted to do. Executed. Prank. So yeah, you can grief him. Yes, exactly. You can do that now. It is possible. See? I just executed all those men. For me, I'm not marked as an enemy. I just don't have shared vision. That's why they're my ally, but I just can't see them, you know what I mean? They actually look like they completely fucking vanished, which is kind of spooky. I can't. I'm not in multiplayer mode. Oh, you can tick someone as ally and teleport him? Yeah, we need to make sure that the comparison is that the both of them are allied. We need to make sure that that kind of griefing doesn't happen. That exploit, rather. That kind of exploit does not occur. That would be pretty good. I don't know if that would work, though. I'm not 100% sure. But I mean, you recall them, and then you cloak them while they don't give you shared vision, and they attack your units. So emerging gameplay, yeah. There's no. The only bug that I was referencing there, Iquare, is that if you move the arbiter in the middle of its recall animation, it will take, it will cancel the recall. So we could fix it so that you could move the unit freely while the recall is going on, and I would like that as a potential fix. For now, I'm thinking of just making it so that the arbiter can't move. Like the current change on the document is that the arbiter cannot receive any additional orders, which means it will decelerate, which means that, oh, well, I guess it won't even stop moving necessarily if it's still en route to its destination, but it's just that you can't like change its course while the recall is happening. I don't mind that either. So. Yeah, there you go. See, Mutas Doesn't is already thinking of various ways to make it happen. I think you can, but it would require a fuck ton of timing. Like, remember that recalling your unit, it's very fast right now, but it's going to require much. It's going to take closer to 3 seconds from 1.5 or whatever it is right now. Or I think it's like 2 seconds right now. It's gonna take longer in the final version. So just keep that in mind. That's one of the reasons why I give arbiters plus 50 shields. I might even give them base 2 armor or something too. But it's they're pretty good in that respect. Yeah, I'm thinking of making them the current new game state weapon for them is like a modified version of the Corsair attack. But that was before I didn't think Corsairs was actually going to be added into vanilla when I wrote that. So it's a really old documentation. But they definitely should have a different weapon than what they have right now. I'm thinking more of like a beam-like ability or something, but I'm not sure. Now, we don't have reads for any of the other stuff, but yeah, can you believe that was real? We don't have reads for any of the newest abilities. I have a read picked out as placeholder for the why does everybody think beam means void ray? I'm talking about AoE, dude. Observance is a new ability for science vessels that reduces armor over time. And that's one of those abilities that, like, at this point, I'm pretty sure when you see people using that well and positioning their vessels well in the middle of fights, like, there's a lot of potential for really good high-level positional gameplay coming out of that. I think it's because the nuke missile is invincible. Though there's an idea. Allow nuke missiles to be shot down. I've been thinking about that anyway. Are you getting in here, Veek? What are you doing? Quit trying to recall nukes. We gotta test, wait, what are we even testing in multiplayer? Oh yeah, I wanted to test the Protoss drop thing again. And yes, to answer your question, Mutas Dozen, I'm pretty sure I know what was causing it. It's related to, or there are two desyncs that we found. One of them is idle animations for zealots were causing issues because they had no weight in them, basically. Oh, okay. I guess Veek decided he didn't want to play after all. Or doesn't have the latest DXC or something. Classic. Oh, I know what that is. All right, come scout my shit, will you? My. I'm selecting my own unit. You get out of here and come back. All right, now come back. See you, nerd. It's that easy, boys. So that's the other drop that we've been able to track down. But I don't think it's like it must be related specifically to vessels somehow. But as you can see, it only happens. I don't know. It's just weird. Yeah, Iquare. So basically, at the impact site, like the very center of the explosion graphic, it should create a field of radiation. So like the irradiated sprite, and also dealing damage. And then any unit that dies to it creates another radiation cloud, and any building that gets hit by it as well or killed by it also spawns a radiation cloud. Any building that survives or unit that survives gets irradiated. That's the upgrade, basically. I think we'll probably end up doing something else as well for that, like maybe an upgrade to the Augustgrad's Revenge will make the area unbuildable for a minute or something crazy. You know, I don't know how long it'll be, but so like the target site is unbuildable. So if you dropped it on a command center and then killed it, you know, they can't rebuild it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think with these nuke changes, especially with the fact that the nukes themselves are much cheaper, I might make it so that they can be intercepted. It's just that if they're shot down, they would probably also blow up. No, I don't think we need to add any more gimmicks than what it already does. It's a lot of moving parts just by itself. Also, get back in here. What are you doing? Don't you know how to end a task? Okay, I'll flesh out that a little bit. All right, so It seems like if I select any unit, it will desync when you scout this stuff, right? So leave the area. I'm going to select one of your units. Now come back and scout it. Okay, so selecting one of your units also does it. So then we probably need to figure out... It's so weird that it's specifically shield batteries that are doing it. It must be active unit portrait after all, then, that's causing the desync. I'm pretty sure Zealots would have also caused the desync. I guess we didn't exhaustively test away from that, though. So I'm going to select something before you even move this time. I'll select the unit really quickly, and then scout it. Okay, go for it. Because I want to see if it's if selecting a unit before you scout it the first time also drops. Alright, so that doesn't drop, but what if you lose vision now? It's like, it almost like is like it has to synchronize my selection. So now I change my selection, and you scout again, and you're scouting it, and my selection is different from the selection that it was when you first scouted it or something? Or no, now it's not desyncing. So, what the fuck? Alright, now lose vision. What happens when you lose vision? Okay, now scout it again. It's so weird that now it's fine. It's like, as long as I have a unit selected when you first saw the shield battery, everything's good. So if you lose vision now, you also will probably be fine, even though I changed my selection again. But it's like because the first time you see the shield battery, I have to... Oh, so DF says for you to deselect your unit after ordering it to move. So if you don't know how to do that, just shift left click on your queen to deselect it and select nothing. And do that after she's already on the way to scout. See what happens. No? Okay. Weird. Yeah. That's really weird that it matters what unit I have first selected, right? Like, if I don't have anything selected when you first scout it, and then I select something, that's when the drop can happen. But if I have something selected and then you scout it, it's fine? Oh, you mean I deselect stuff. Alright. Oh. Well, I don't know if he crashed or if it was a drop. But I assume it was a drop. That's pretty good. The first time was scouted when you had something selected. Yeah. So it looks like it must be related to that active unit portrait thing. Let me take a look at the shield battery code real quick. Because recharge shields is active right now, so... Recharge shields. I don't see any active unit portrait. There's not even an active unit portrait in here anyway, so... Refactor this real quick. Reasonable. Oh no. I don't think that really, I don't know. It's really weird to take a look at this. Because there's no active portrait unit or anything anywhere. So what we should do anyway is... oh. Wait. What's going on here? Oh, I see. I just didn't fetch your changes from before, so... that's confusing. Well, you did something with your extended unit hook, right? Or extended unit flags. Did you implement something like that? I hope you guys can't hear the fucking AC in the background. That is annoying. But it's probably just the perfect frequency range to pierce through here. Yeah, see if it causes a desync. Let me know when you put it up and I'll compile the plugin. Also, how do we get it to batch build? Is this it? How do we make it so that we can automatically move this completed plugin file somewhere else? Like by default, I want it to point to the root folder, and then I want to be able to also specify my own version of that points it to my Hydra workspace. That's what I did for the file before. The what's it called? I did that for A's, so I would like to be able to do it for this too. I'm not sure. I'm thinking a bit more about the radiation idea. I don't... Wait, what? A new configuration here? Oops. Destroyed. It doesn't let me do anything. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that's probably not the case. But yeah, I'm thinking a bit more about this radiation stuff, and I think maybe it makes sense to refactor this a little bit, revise this idea. So we have August Grad's Revenge. The unbuildable terrain thing makes me a little uncomfortable, though. It feels like a gimmick, and it feels like it's, oh yeah, I've casted this ability, so you can't do anything now. But I guess it's kind of the same thing as Ground Zero, and it does rely on a large amount of research and a pretty hefty cost to actually build the nuke in the first place. So maybe it's still okay, but I feel like it's hard to balance something like that. All right. All right, I think we're good here. I'll go ahead and close this because I'm not using it anymore. And yeah. Let's go ahead and... destroyed. Hopefully that link works. Veek, it's in your inbox. It's only really supposed to decloak them for like a split second, probably under a second. But we'll see how it works out. Like, you're gonna basically need to force target them. Am I getting pranked by Radman again? Classic move. Oops. Dude, how is there no option to just restart the fucking service? Why doesn't it just fucking work? Wow. Thanks. Yeah, great. I guess I'll probably have to restart my PC after this or something. So we're just building Dark Templar. Don't scout the shield batteries. Do you want to drop or what? Oh, hey. They're not cloaked for some reason. Well, they appear to be attacking just fine. Oh. You scouted the fucking shield battery, didn't you, you piece of shit? You fuck. Couldn't just sit there and wait? SMH. I have no idea. I guess their flag got disabled somehow. I turned it off, but then I turned it back on and saved, and I guess I just didn't save. I don't know. It's pretty weird. So should I disable something in here? Oh. The fuck? Why did that... Where did your flags go? I don't know what happened to the project. I must have fucked something up. Oh. Oops. Excuse me. Um. Yeah, I don't notice any change at all. I don't think there is a change. I'll set it to something absurd. See? Just to make sure. Ah, you idiot. You opened up the wrong fucking project. What a moron. Oh, never mind. Yeah, there's just no change. It's not working. Well, I can't see why it might be bugged, but it's bugged. But for now, it will work. You know what I mean? Probably be moving armories into a different role at some point. I think turning them into more of a tech structure that, like, I guess you could put vulture upgrades on them. At some point, I was going to make a there's going to be like a dock or something. It wasn't a dock. It was like shipyard or something like that. But it was basically going to be a structure that was meant to upgrade air units specifically, so that you would have to actually tech into them instead of using armories for all of them. I'm not sure if I'll still stick with that, but I might end up doing that in the future. That way you could use armories to unlock those, but maybe like certain add-ons or units would require those, like maybe Goliaths require the vehicle upgrade center instead of requiring an armory, which you need in order for the factory to be built. So kind of seems superfluous. It's probably something that will be experimented with. I think putting the vulture upgrades on the armory, though, will be useful for a couple of other things. It'll be useful for like people who actually want to rush out stuff like that. They're looking to rush out mines. Or maybe there'll be a third armory or third vulture upgrade to help them scale later on. Definitely changes a lot, though, conceptually speaking. Terrans really have been fucked around with the most, I think, which is really weird. I don't know why. you're demonstrating your yeah. I didn't even test that in multiplayer. I guess we should probably do that. Okay. I could see it working out. Not for the Dark Templar, but I could definitely see it working out. Bum, bum, bum. No? No. Hmm. Remember yesterday when I made the observation? I don't know if this was on stream or not. I'm assuming it wasn't, but I made some observation yesterday that we are not even uh like not even a third of the way done with all of the Hydra game state changes. Yeah, it should happen as soon as they start the attack animation. We probably will need like a sig order or something in the iScript. Like, I can't believe with all the stuff that's already been changed, it's very hard to believe that we're not even 33% of the way done. Like, we're not even a third of the way done with Hydra's mod, like a central mod. You got all the micro stuff, and you got all the stuff that's currently in the red, that's in the document, right? Everything red is not implemented. So all these units and stuff, aberrants are completely unimplemented yet, as of right now. Like, all that stuff. It's nuts. It's nuts to think about. So, long road ahead. That makes me feel really excited though. Like, I know that maybe it sounds like the way I was explaining it made me feel terrible or something, but I think that's really cool. It's really neat to me to see all that stuff. To see that I've done all of this and I'm not even close to being done. It's like, wow, what crazy shit am I going to experience in the future? I mean, come on now. Don't think about that, dude. Whatever you do. What is it called when you like in music? It's not an octave. It's like when you're moving from one chord to the next. We'll call it a tempo change for now, but I know that's not really what I was thinking of. How much does a tank cost? I need a reference here, boys. Should it be 2 transport space or 4 transport space? I feel like this bad boy is a little tough. We'll see. But given its cost, I think we'll see. Yeah, we'll say 2 supply. Don't have anything against that. They're going to be relatively nimble, though, so I'm going to say 100 HP, 1 armor. Say, yeah, they're large size. And we'll say 9 sight damage. It's the new mech unit. I was also thinking I'm probably going to buff Goliaths a little bit, reduce their mineral cost back down to 100, and then make them require a machine shop. But we'll see about that later. I'm not gonna muck about with that right now. Oh, looks like the Clarion and the Starcaller need to be formatted correctly. Alright, Clarion. This is a weird wikidot issue. Or CSS issue or something where it loses span tags, class tags, when it goes down, like when it has a second phase of its, or second indentation of a list. I don't know why. All right. It's added. All right. Added the mech unit. So that's good. I was typing in the Hydra channel and to iQuare, dude. Anyway, I think I came up with this concept last night, and I was like, well, I'll definitely remember all of this stuff, so I'm just going to go to bed. And somehow I did remember all this, and that never happens. I almost always forget something important. This time, if I did, I don't remember that I forgot it, so it doesn't really matter. Here, it's like, obviously this feels like a very obtuse unit, like a unit that has a lot of moving parts with it, but it doesn't really. I think the biggest deal is the I'm gonna have to balance like the attack speed and stuff. They're a relatively pricey unit, right now, same exact cost as siege tanks, but they move faster than tanks, probably as fast as unupgraded vultures is my current thought. They have less sight range, they have less health. They're large, so a lot of stuff deals full damage to them, like Hydras and stuff. And their basic attack deals explosive damage, so they're not useful against everything. I just want to make sure that they don't end up feeling like they're missing something pretty big. I still think that they need they can't. They're going to have more range than a vulture for sure. They can't handle the front line. They are not going to be the frontline units, right? You're still going to want to plant mines, slow down enemy armies. It's just that when you end up having the up tempo form switch activated, there will be this idea that you're going to be dealing like AoE damage. So there's a way for you to deal AoE damage in a different way than tanks. Even that being said, I'm not 100% sure if it'll work out. I think the concept definitely has potential. I'm going to be able to mess with a lot of balancing levers as well. But the current form of it probably ends up it's definitely very positional, and I don't know if it's very it might not be the right kind of balance, because the current issue that I'm experiencing in my head when I try to imagine this unit in action is the second behavior with it, where its second weapon, the weapon that it switches to when you do the form switch, which requires its own research. When you get that and you're starting to launch missiles, they're slow moving, but they home. They home in on the targets. They can't be destroyed, because if I did that, the unit would be almost useless probably. And when they land, it's like at that point they have that positional gameplay associated with them, where they impale themselves into the unit, dealing concussive damage, and then explode a second later, dealing explosive damage in a small AoE. Whereas their normal attack is much more straightforward. It's just single target explosive. And it's lower range, and the missiles move faster. And so I think that there's room for that kind of unit. But when it's long range and has that slow moving but inevitable outcome of the missile moving slowly and then hitching onto your unit, at least you'll know which unit it's targeting based on the slow movement speed if you're kiting, and you can move that unit around and stuff. But it might create a negative gameplay experience where the gameplay loop around that unit is oh, I want to pull back, but he keeps fucking impaling me, so I have to charge forward, but there's mines everywhere and I die. It's almost like marking units for death without that much of an investment on the Terran player. Or without that much counterplay available to the other player beyond stopping the madrigals from getting into position or stopping the mines from being there so you can actually close in on them. I'm not 100% sure. It's definitely going to take some getting used to, and I don't know if it'll be a positive gameplay experience. It might end up being a little toxic in that respect. So I'm keeping an eye on that in a mental sense. On the flip side, it might be that the unit is actually not very useful, even with this thing in there, which would be doubly a slap to the face, because it's a unit that might create a toxic gameplay experience, but also might not even work on a balanced meta level, where it might not actually be cost effective. I don't think that will happen, but it could be that both of those issues are there. And then, yes, I have a lot of levers with which to balance stuff, but yeah, I'm not sure. All right. So there you go. I'll add the magical upgrades, I suppose. Oh yeah, I should test out that change. Now I should see these dropships having absurd movement speeds. Once they get, well, absurd acceleration. Once that upgrade is done. Oh yeah. Well, this is only on 2. I reset it, so I definitely can see that. We'll try 3. Oh yeah. Try scourging me now, dude. Well, I'll probably reduce the cost of it, but so let's say that should be good. So I want to say this is magical upgrade. So we need, first we need its ability, its tech switch thing. So we'll say tempo change. Uh, Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be plenty. Like I said earlier, we're not even a third of the way done with Hydra's game state. There's going to be so much more to do. There's already a huge amount of stuff to do, but there's a bunch of stuff that's in my head and not here. And stuff that will pop into my head that I'll say, hey, maybe that works. All right. So we're going to go ahead and save that and call that done. So let's say... Oh, that's right. I need to edit this. So say 300% acceleration rate. Increase value. Oh, let's see. Acceleration. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm going to add it. I was talking about that yesterday. That I have to add the world eater. I'm not actually sure if I'm going to do that, but I don't mind the idea that you have to deploy like really high level units with workers on an individual basis because it's like an economic thing. It's like, oh, you're not getting like while your worker is busy with that, you're not mining resources. I think that there's a lot to that idea in theory. So we'll see what happens. Right. So the way that the chrysalis is going to work is that you'll pay for the chrysalis. Once it's finished, you can choose what aberrant you want it to hatch into, and it will hatch into it. Evolution chambers morphing into mutation pits. Like a mutation pit is required for the aberrant, for the chrysalis. And then while the chrysalis is alive, though, you don't necessarily need to change it if you just want the AOE regeneration rate for energy like spellcasters or whatever. You can also use that, but it feels like maybe that's a little bit of an extra like superfluous thing. I don't know if it really matters, but figured I would throw it in there anyway. All right, so I'm gonna be right back because I gotta use the bathroom, and then when I come back, I'll see what else needs to be added. I'll probably be focusing mostly on the task sheet, noting, mostly like writing descriptions for art and stuff. So right now, Mutation Pit just has Evolution Chamber upgrades, but I think it will also have some other global aberrant related upgrades at some point too. Maybe it's like a build time decrease of the chrysalis or something like that. I was thinking of that as an upgrade in the future that would require hive tech, but we shall see. I shall return. BRB. Hello, I'm back. You really like to see Infested Geyser, but it will require a lot of hooks for the function that deals with Geyser unit IDs. Yeah, I figured it would be pretty fucking ridiculous. We need extended button sets for the starport. I've had to remove the rally button for now because of all the units that you can build. How Infested Geyser will look like for the owner. So basically, you'll just have, like, when you select the geyser, it will be a green selection circle, and it'll play a extractor sound, or like a modified extractor sound probably. And it will actually say for you, when you click on it, it should say Infested Geyser. And for your allies as well. And obviously for allies, it'll be a yellow circle. But if your enemies have detection of it and they select it, it should say Infested Geyser and be red. But if it's not detected, it would just say Vespene Geyser and be yellow. But yes, visually it will look like a regular geyser. What I like about the Infested Geyser too, though, is that it allows for Vespene regeneration. So it's actually ideal to mutate your geysers into Infested Geysers at home, in theory. So, like, it allows for resource regeneration without a nearby Iroleth, and so on and so forth. So... So yeah. And hey, Icar, I did want to say thanks for spending so much time lately on the new game state. We were talking about this yesterday as well. I hope you're still making time for your own stuff. I really appreciate that you're working so much on this stuff, but I also hope that you just have a good time doing it. You know what I mean? Because it's pretty. I don't know. It's out there. It's a lot of work that you've put in, and I hope so. I hope it's fun. I hope it's fun for you. I know. That's what. So that's one of the things that I was really excited about. I changed that yesterday. Before it was just supposed to immediately spawn broodlings there, which still, I think, inattentive players would suddenly have their shit. Like they'd be like, "Oh man, he's broodlinging my workers," right? That's what he would probably think when he just sees broodlings in his worker line. He wouldn't think, "Oh shit, they're coming out of the geyser," right? But now it's like, okay, the player can decide. The owner can like activate the ability to release them, or the owner can just let it happen. Oh yeah, they blew up the structure on top, and outpours just hundreds of broodlings. That would be pretty epic. Maybe there should be a cap, like after you hit 20 broodlings or 20 killed workers for 40 broodlings or something, it has to come out. There's like only so much space in the geyser. I really want to tie in something related to Ahmed or chicken to this upgrade name, but I can't think of anything. Infested Geyser would be pretty epic, though. I keep thinking about that now. I'm looking forward to seeing that in Fraud Night. Just imagine I do it to My Name is Lowell. Why do I have no gas? And then a billion broodlings start entering his mineral line as I infest his command center. Yeah, it's a lot of technical stuff to implement that, but looking forward to seeing you in Fraud Night. Oh yeah, I've got to add the liftoff speed, the ramming speed upgrade. Okay. All right, 71 and 78. And then we'll say, oh yeah, I still have to figure out what I'm calling this one. Oh wait, ramming speed. Oh shit, he's already working on. Yeah, hold on. He's already working on ground zero, boys. What's ground zero anyway? I guess for now that'll have to be an academy thing. Okay, yeah, I'm thinking this is ramming speed. Current unit is engineering bay. Okay. Looking for names or inspiration. All right, we'll leave it at that for now, I think. Close that for now. All right, Iquare, it's uploading. What passive? Heat Shield, the one that I was just adding? It's an upgrade that gives plus 15 HP to fire bats. Which could either be broken or useless, I'm not sure. Gonna lay the groundwork for all of these changes. And I was just about to do that, but I'm also just about to do a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, if you want to do that and push them to the repo, that would be great. It's just one of those small things I never got around to doing. You just have to. You're gonna have to like draw the location around the right tiles is all. Like shrink it basically and then move it. It shouldn't be too difficult. What was the last upgrade tooltip that I added? I think it was Blade Vortex. Yeah. All right, well, I'll remember that, but then for now I need to figure out string. Engineering Bay's command card here is getting a little claustrophobic. So we've got Q, D, W, A, S. So we can do R. So we'll say R. Destroyed. I really don't know why that happens to people. I would like to figure out what's going on there. You might look into getting a Windows 7 virtual machine. Or Windows... I don't want to say Vista, but... The thing with Windows XP is I don't think that EXEs work. Like, Firecraft EXEs don't seem to work on Windows XP. At least not my VM. So maybe there's some setup or something I'm missing, but... Maybe it's a registry issue? I don't know. It's really hard to say. That might work better for you to play through. I don't know. It's obviously a ridiculous thing to have to do, but... Is it game bar or is it something else? Oh, game mode right here. Gross. So this is 1568. So here we'll replace the escalate paladin with... Oh yeah. Icon ID is 614. Yeah, so Veek's issue is like basically he runs an exe, he closes it, and then afterwards he has to restart his PC if he wants to play to run a mod again. I think he said it doesn't happen when he runs normal Starcraft, but it is a really weird issue, you know. I think it was happening before that, but probably. So I'm thinking this should probably be H, even though H is pretty hard, pretty far. Or it could be D. I don't think there's a D here. Yeah, it's D. Oh, I'm not even on the latest version 2004 update because my device is not ready, apparently. Oh, once it's not ready for my device, whatever the fuck that means. I don't know how to check what my update actually is or whatever, but if you haven't already updated, I think it's worth a try, and then you can uninstall it if it breaks something. But this is, we're looking for ground 0, which is 102. $16.08. All right, so here we are. We're adding ground 0. We'll say ground 0 requires facility. What is hags? What the hell? Never even heard of that. So this is 1610 and 1609. Did I already do reservations in here? Yeah, okay. All right. Um, $16.11. Okay. Yeah, at some point I will. I was talking about this earlier. I think what I'll do in the more distant future is make Goliaths require machine shop, make and buff them a little bit so that that's not a completely ridiculous change. Make Vulture tech on put Vulture tech on the armory. Probably add a third Vulture research / upgrade. It'll be an upgrade of some sort that will provide some benefit to them in the late game, like improve their scaling in some way, and move the weapon upgrades to a new structure, and vehicle upgrades to a new structure, and ships upgrades to a different new structure, so that it further fragments that out. So you won't be able to get like fast +1 timings, but that will allow me to make the armory probably back to 100 minerals, 50 gas, as far as acquiring it is concerned. And then the... no, I'm not going to change the weapon class. What I was thinking of off the top of my head was an upgrade that makes its projectile bounce to a nearby target. So the fragmentation grenade would bounce, or making them deal AoE, but I think bouncing is more interesting. A bit more positional. Anyway, I'll figure out what I want to do, but it's not going to be changing the damage type with an upgrade. It's really weird. Especially to something that doesn't even exist in the game by default. It's like one thing to change it from concussive to normal, like the Gorgolith, but it doesn't make any sense, I don't think, for the Vulture. But yeah, I think that moving the upgrades to dedicated structures will, for one, it'll make it so that there's a bit more of an opportunity cost for build space. For another, there will be a bit more opportunity for provisions of like specializing your stuff, and those can kind of be considered tier 3 tech structures in a way. It'll be probably closer to like a tier 2.5, I guess. But the science facility would require one of them. So I think that could work. I don't really like concussive that much, but I want it to be an actual mechanic in the game and not just something that's reserved for 3 Terran units, like in vanilla. I mean, I think my current experiments with them have borne fruit with the Hierophant, for example. I think it does pretty good damage. And has a very decided combat role. Time will tell if maybe it's too expensive for what it does, but I think it works out pretty well. It's definitely an APM intensive harassment unit, but maybe Singularity Charge should give it +2 range instead of +1 so that it's more synchronous with the Dragoon. But then Singularity Range is probably too effective for its cost, and I might make it so that it costs a bit more like Leg Enhancements does. But I just don't think that, like, if I made that change to one thing's concussive damage, I would rather make it to everything and then modify the damage dealt. But I don't know that it's required. Like, I think we have pretty solid setups right now. I think that the fact that it deals full damage to shields is a different wrinkle and adds some sort of selective matchups. For example, ghosts and vultures and stuff are really useful at picking off defense matrix as well as stasis, as well as obviously dealing damage to Protoss units. Basilisks have been found out to be very effective because not only can they kind of try to snipe High Templar from the ground, but they are also able to destroy shields on any unit. And of course, they're effective against Zealots and Legionnaires. And Archons. So stuff like that works out. I think the Basilisk ended up being a fairly solid unit. And then you look at, for example, the changes to the Wraith to make it a light unit. I think this is a big change because it provides more of a... It's like when you're looking at the concussive damage type and giving it to a unit, or just looking at, say, the Ghost, which already has it by default, when you make more units take more damage from concussive by setting them to light, like the Wraith, that makes Ghosts more desirable, right? Ghosts being more accessible also makes them more desirable, but they can be used against Wraiths. I mean, obviously Wraiths. They can be used against Mutalisks, is what I meant to say there, in the TVZ matchup, and they can be used against Corsairs. I think should probably be moved to light if they're not already. I was thinking, I don't think Scouts are large right now, but if not, maybe they're medium. I think they should be medium, so that light does a little bit more damage and explosive does a little bit less damage, which would probably help them be a little bit more interesting. Yeah, well, I think Basilisks are really good. We just haven't seen them that much. AI is kind of dumb about building them, too. Oh yeah, this is Science Facility. LSER. What was this? G? So we can say G. Ah, man. All right, we'll keep it as it is for now so that we don't hit that limit. I knew I was close. Yeah, I kind of agree, but I think we can also make it so that the Scout detonates at a wider radius or something. Like, that ability is probably a little too pricey or whatever. But we'll see. Not really pricey, but it's just like, it's not very useful because the unit itself is pretty pricey, so... What do you mean, cannibalizing stat tweaks? You talking about, like, the fact that I'm editing, like, replacing a lot of existing shit? I appreciate you doing that. I'm more worried about the data structure stuff, to be honest with you. Like, having to re-enable everything from the vanilla game and then move everything else. Like there's so much plugin shit that's going to happen, but it's mostly just, you know, replace all in the plugin environments and moving the like copying and pasting the unit entries and stuff. So it'll be some menial labor, but that's all right. Right. Or have like that be a separate branch of the GitHub or something. All right, so I think this button is fine. Rather, I think everything is set up properly for it, but I also think that this is one of those researches, the peer-reviewed destruction one, that allows science vessels to cast nuke. We're not going to actually have access to it because the science vessel command card is already full. I mean, I guess I could remove the Titan reactor passive for now, but we can't even put in the nuclear strike thing for them. So. Oh, I forgot to grab the icon ID. Oh, 79 can also be cannibalized, I guess. Cyprian vessel, so Firebat, Cyprian science vessel is Azel. Okay. Did you end up fixing up the maps by any chance? I can just do it now on my end. Oh wait, that's a good one. What? Prank. Hey, we didn't freeze because of the cloaking thing. Cool. Oh, that's wrong. All right. Pretty exciting stuff that we're just slapping together a bunch of new upgrades and whatnot. Oh boy. Speaking of which, yeah, well, upgrade slots are no concern since we've had extended ones forever. Like I'm not. Do I even have? Yeah. So I've got 116 slots, one of which is currently still open. So at least one. May have not found others. That's what I've used so far for the default upgrades, and then I've got 40, I think, for the relics. 40 slots reserved for the relics. Might be even less than that. Might be like 36 or something, or 32, because I think it's 8 times 4. But I might have just done a safety for having 10 of each. But so even in worst case scenario, you're talking about 116, round up to 120, and then you got 40. That's 180, but you still have 255, like 255 entries or something like that. So I don't think it'll be an issue. Okay, so we've done all that. Close that for now. Oh yeah, and I wanted to fix somatic implants. $17.96. Oops. It's all right. What am I doing now? I'm checking this. Take a look at my nuke. Hey, get back here. Not sure if it irradiates buildings, though. Nah, it doesn't irradiate buildings yet. The radiation zone at the impact site is not implemented either, but it will be. I just have to now update. It wasn't me. It was Iquare. He just sent it to me at some point recently. I guess he had to disable your extended unit flags though, because it was causing a crash. I don't know whether that can be taken care of or not. He said he was going to message you about it if he... I don't know if he already did. Oh, okay. Cool. Okay. I don't actually know how to give you editor access to the wikidot, but I can send you the table of contents code if you want. Well, I don't think it'll be necessary here, but... we shall see. Well, I know, yeah. I don't know how to give you the access to the CSS thing. Pranked, typoed in my own thing. Oops. I could have control H'd this in Notepad, I guess. That's what I did earlier when I was adding classes to the game state document, but I'm gay, so I didn't do it this time. All right, just slapping this stuff in here. What's missing here exactly? Class equals code rec. Class equals indred. All right. The fuck? Why wouldn't it work? Who's recful? Rest in peace, whoever he is. Well, it looks like you would need to. I think you need to apply or something. I forget how to invite you. Oh wait, what's your wikidot username? I tested it. Oh, did you mean you just committed some more changes? I can take a look at that. Well, I typed Veek7 and it didn't pop up with a search. Maybe I have to refresh all that. Yeah, unless that's not. Yeah, I don't know. I can't. Oh, here you are. Why did it only show up now? All right, I sent you the invite. Hopefully it works. Hopefully this doesn't create a bunch of garbage code like head or whatever. Oh, that's pretty cool. Where was that anyway? Weapon damage? Okay. So what did you do with this commit compared to before, Iquare? Is this just allowing radiation of buildings? Oh, still doesn't do it. I tested it on Ultralisks and it worked, so. I'm just trying to figure out why these classes are not working anymore. Does it have to be olive drab? Maybe it's case sensitive or something? Oh, actually, maybe it works fine. Yeah, it was fine. It was just that I more or less pranked myself there. All right, the dark slate gray is a little too much like everything else. So. We'll try sea green. No. And then I think we need a darker orange. Maybe goldenrod instead of dark orange. So brown. Cool. I was adding classes to the code so that it was easier for me to color code stuff here to the Hydra task sheet. Like there's a class for code requests, class for visual requests, and then a class for each individual person who would have done it. So like DF has his own color coded class, so that like you can see the medbay graphic, it's completed because it has the check mark and it's got a certain color. So like you're the coral color, and then when I throw Veek stuff in here, I guess I should add that he did Death March, so I'll throw him in here. Yeah, CSS classes. Oh, pranked. I guess I fucked something up here. Oh, I fucked something up in here. I probably put the wrong one in. Yeah, I missed a quote mark. It still feels maybe a little bit too close to the green, so I think I'll change the green to something else. Corn silk. Dark slate blue. Yeah, that feels a bit better. I just have to write that they're in blue. There we go. Maybe instead of italics, I can embolden. Let's try and see how that works here. Yeah, I think that might work better. Yeah, I sent you an invite according to my site, so I don't know where that's used or what, but I think we'll just say data extenders. I might end up toning down the color intensity, but we'll see. All right, hopefully that ends up being useful. Can you confirm that you actually got in here and not CSS, site manager? It doesn't seem like it worked. Maybe it just takes 8 years in order to actually show the search result, and it doesn't have an obvious thing. Because when I searched for Veek, it did show you, but it's pretty dumb. Oh yeah, you are in here. Okay. Yeah, I might have to move you to moderator or something. I don't know if you can edit the CSS or not. But just DM me about that stuff. I think I'll end the stream here. I know it's only been 3 hours, only this time around. But we did a lot of the groundwork for various upgrades and future changes. I'll be hanging around for a little bit. So if anybody has more stuff for me or questions or whatever, just DM me, post on the Hydra channel. You know the drill for that sort of thing. But I will ship this version pretty soon. That will include some updates to. Obviously, it'll include the changes to what's it called? the new upgrade. But I'm going to have to edit some other junk. Probably remove some of the buttons for things like the extended upgrade. Later on. Like the Firebat upgrade and there was one other upgrade. I don't know about that one, Don. I'm sure there's going to be people who want to play right now. I'm going to ship this update pretty soon, and then I got to eat some food, and I got to get ready for work as well. So I don't know if I'll have time to play test. We'll see. If there's already a game going, increases the likelihood. So I would say sound the bell, man. Figure out who wants to play. But yeah, good seeing everybody. Catch you guys later. Be more streams coming your way tomorrow. Stay tuned.